because of course they cannot admit that he came from them. You understand? So again, she repeating that she don't like it that I went to the mosque because she wants to keep it a secret. She said that I went first to the men's side, but it's not true. The door was closed, so I was waiting by the men's side. Probably someone saw me, but I did not went to the men's side to speak about this issue. I waited. A Somali man opened for me the door that saw me waiting by the men's side. Probably later they asked him and they told him probably that I was at the men's side, but I did not went to speak or inside the men's side. I just was waiting because the door as the woman's side was closed. Then when I went inside, I prayed, understand? And after I asked this woman, why was the door closed? Because 2 hours before with Doher, I went also to the mosque and I was asking a Somali woman questions because I saw that they changed the whole organization, that they changed the furniture, that they made everything different. And I wanted to know when they did that exactly, understand? So then I told this Somali woman that they need to lock always the door with a special lock because of the attack in New Zealand. And then I left. And when I came back, suddenly the door was closed. When I asked them if it was normal, they said to me, never the door is closed. So probably, when I told this woman about that, and I went to the man's side and I spoke with Iman, Moroccan Iman, and I asked him about a Moroccan woman that was always cooking in the mosque. Her name is Samira. I always thought she was Hafida. The reason why I asked about her, because one day when I was standing with Latifa, she pulled me away like she did not wanted me, and she looks very ugly at Latifa, like she knew something about her. And then she asked me, can you come to my house? I have questions about applying for a Dutch passport. But it was strange that she was locking me into her house because she could also ask me for advice in the mosque or in front of the mosque. But somehow she locked me away like from Latifa and to her house about the passport. So it was very strange, almost like she was as the first in an organization, and maybe Latifa was not first in that organization. Maybe Latifa later was also a member. I don't know, but it was very strange. So I needed to know where this woman was living because I wanted to ask her questions, because I wanted to know like why she did that action, pulling me out from Latifa and bringing me to her house for the Dutch passport. But when I went to her house and asked her, she denied everything, She said, no, Latifa, she's a young girl. But she's not a young girl, she's older than me. Oh, she's a young girl, she said. And then she said, that she went to her mother's house when her aunt was dead. And then I said, and then that's it. And then I said to her, well, are you with the Freemasons as well? And then she said, I want. Then she started shaking that she don't want to know anything about that, and that I can always come to her if I want to sleep and to eat. Like she knows the story. Why should you tell me that I'm always welcome to eat and to sleep? This is how you know that people know only the half of the story. Probably the story came from Spain about the house problem, and they think I have no house or something. So this is how you know that they're all involved. So this is why she told me I went to the men's side, but I was not going to the men's side. I was waiting by the men's side when I came back from the Samira. And I was standing by the men's side because the door at the woman's side was closed, probably also because they knew I was there. So you see how they all know each other. En ik zei eerst hoe lang jullie daar niet komen. Jij weet waar hoe heet zij nog gaan wonen. Wie? Jij weet waar zij woont. Ik ben er wel geweest, maar ze wilde de deur niet voor mij openen midden in de nacht. Nee, jij bent eerst naar ons heen gegaan. Daarna ben jij midden in de nacht klopt naar haar huis gegaan. Maar daarvoor heb jij er geen gaan gedaan. Dus jij bent niet eerst naar haar Ik ben naar Hamer gegaan. Nadia wist ik ook niet meer het adres van. Ik ben naar Hamer gegaan en ik wist niet precies waar zij woonde. Het is niet schreeuwen, het is niet schreeuwen. Ik stond bij een deur. Aan mij. Ja, maar ze hebben ze dan. Ik ga nu naar die Irakezen en die anderen, want het waren 3 meer. Want er was een Irakese. Er was een meisje die met een Irakese is getrouwd. Mariam, je kent Mariam wel, toch? Dat was de moeder van Mariam en de vriendin van Mariam. En ik heb nog daarna met hun les gehad, een uur later. Dus het was niet schreeuwen. Natuurlijk, het is natuurlijk, ja, dat je intonatie hebt van, ja, waar zijn zij? Ja, ze komen hier al 3 jaar niet meer. Ik zeg, ja, want Osama, ik zeg, ik ben naar hun op zoek. Ja, ik ben naar hun op zoek. Ik wil ook vragen stellen als er niks aan de hand is, als er niks mee te maken hebben.
Zij is niet zo, die vrouw.
Ja, maar
jij bent jij zocht mij, blijkbaar.
Klopt.
Janina, en ik denk nog een derde iemand.
Ik zocht de zus van Hedhoen omdat ik dacht dat zij het was, degene die naast hem wilde wonen in Marokko. Dus ik wil gewoon vragen stellen, want kijk, deze man, hij kon... She said, why did not go to the Somali woman? She's really don't like that I went to the mosque. She wants to keep it secret, and she's blowing it up because I told her to ask this only to 3 women that she knows and that I know. But on a certain way, they're blowing it up that I was making a theater about it in the mosque. Well, it's not true. I was only with 3 women, and we're even standing outside by the toilets. So she really don't like it that I went there, and she's trying to impress that, you know, and because of course they're afraid, so they are speaking, oh, she came to look for you, because she's telling me that I said that I was looking for her and for the other one, Yamina. I said yes, because I have questions. It's normal, because it's not that I have questions without any reason, you know. So she really don't like that I went to the mosque. She wants to keep it secret. Saudi-Arabië niet welkom, niet Jordanië welkom en ook niet Marokko welkom. En hij heeft 2 valse paspoorten. Hij heeft een Australische paspoort en... I told that he's not welcome in some countries, but it's of course a lie. He is coming from those countries. And I told her that he has a false passport, Australian and a Saudi, but he has an Australian passport. But it's not a false one, because when I met him in Tangier, he told me that he has another name on that passport, but it's not true. It's normal that some people have many names and they sometimes use only one last name, you understand? So it was just a lie, I think, that he told me that. So this is how you know that they play the game from the first moment perfectly. And then... Saoedische paspoort met 2 verschillende namen. En hij is naar Tangier gegaan. En jij hebt daar contact mee, snap je?
Maar dat heeft niks met mij te maken.
Ja, maar door jou heb ik hem leren kennen. Jij hebt hem toch in een of andere café leren kennen?
Ja, maar Shadia, jij bent toch volwassen om een keuze te maken of je...
That I have only questions. He said, yes, but what I have to do with that? You're an adult to have contact with someone or not. I said, did not have contact with me. All the time they come look for me. You know, maybe they know my location by the phone, and all the time it's like coincidence, you know? Maar ik moet wel weten hoe je hem hebt leren kennen. So it's normal that I want to know how you have met him. And then she started to say, I just wanted to do good with you. I just proposed him because I thought maybe you want to marry. I said, why should you propose someone to me to marry? I mean, you are yourself not married. Why would you propose to me someone? She said to me, that's a Saudi. Why you would propose to me as Saudi, you know? For what reason, you know? And I said he's a good boy and I want to propose him to me. If he wants, I will propose him to you. And he said, you could also say no. I said, no, this is not how it happens. And it is not that this is how it happens. She started to speak about him. Soon I had contact with her. She was probably happy because I disappeared. So when I appeared, she started speaking about him. They already had the plan, you know? So they were looking for me. And she said to me, if I want to marry, I said, I'm not interested. You know, she started speaking that he was an imam and everything. I said, well, you can always give my number, you know, because maybe I have some questions about religion or something. That's not a problem. But I was clear from the first moment to her. I said, why you don't take him yourself? You know, why would you propose someone to me? No, I don't want. No, she said that she was not interested. And she said that he was a Saudi. Niet geïnteresseerd, maar als hij, want hij zei dat hij ook een Rokia deed. Toen zei ik, is goed, geef mijn nummer maar. En toen hij ook mij contacteerde en een foto stuurde van zijn moeder, toen zei ik ook meteen tegen hem van, luister, dit is niet wat jij misschien aan je hoofd hebt. Ik wil gewoon zeg maar contact als ik vragen heb over islam en zo. Omdat hij Rokia deed en alles. En zo is het gegaan.
Maar dat vind je, oké, maar dat
he contacted me and he sent me immediately the picture of his mother and him, and he also a picture that he was in business class in a plane or something. And I said immediately to him that I was not interested, you know. And from then on, it was the distance, you know, that I only had questions about Islam or something. But I made it clear to him, you know. So this is what I'm trying to explain to her. She said to me, yeah, I also didn't know that he was a good boy, that he had studied.
Geleerd had, dat soort dingen, dat had hij mij opgesteld. Ik wist verder niks over de achtergrond, Shadia, maar
She said she did not know anything about his background.
dat jij dan in de moskee...
She said she did not know anything about his background, but it's strange because before in the conversation she's telling me when I told her about that he cannot enter Morocco and Saudi Arabia that she knew about the problems. So she admit that she knew about the problems, while in the meantime she says that she don't know anything about him, that she has not a lot of contact with him, that she only asks how are you, and that she don't go deep to the subject. So it's a contradiction. She's speaking against herself, or maybe she lied that she knew about the problems. When I said he cannot go inside Morocco and Saudi, of course she needs to say that she knows about it to show that he has no relation to those countries, to hide it that they are also in the Freemasons.
Opa, dit en dat. En hij deed weer Mia, die kent dat, ja.
Ik had eerst gebeden rustig in de moskee en toen, ik herkende zelfs die vrouw niet, want ik had mijn lenzen niet in. En pas toen zijn ze allemaal naar mij toegelopen, die moeder van Mariam en die andere Irakezen. Toen gingen ze allemaal knuffelen en kusjes. Ja, waar ben je geweest? Nou, toen hebben we nog even gepraat. En toen daarna, aan het einde van bij de deur, toen zei ik eigenlijk, zegt ze, ja, ging ik vragen stellen. Toen zeiden ze van dat jullie daar niet meer komen. En toen zei ik van, toen zei ze waarom? Want toen zag ze mijn gezicht. En toen zei ik dat ook gewoon heel boos gezegd. Ging ik zeggen, ja, dit en dat en die Osama. En hij is voortvluchtig. En als er niks aan de hand is, maar ik moet hem spreken. Weet je wel? Zo heb ik het gezegd. En daarna zei ze...
Heb jij gezegd dat ik de oorzaak ben?
Nee. I told her that it's not like that because I finished praying and they came to me hugging me, these two women, her mother, a woman and her daughter. And then where I was all the time, and then suddenly starting speaking that I was a good lawyer, you know. Of course, irony. And then I said I was looking for them, you know. Actually, before I said that I was looking for them, I said I'm looking for this latifa and everything. And then while walking outside, she said, "Oh, she's a good lawyer," you know. And then when I was standing outside again, I asked him if they knew where she was, and then they asked me why, and then explained why. But I, of course, I explained it on a normal way, but not on a way like I'm having a beach vacation, because it's not something little, you know. So so she told me about the lawyer before I said why. So she knew. They all came to hug me, like she knew I was going under a test, you know. And while going outside, she said herself, pretty face, they want to bring you into prostitution. When I said I was looking for them, they all play with me. They tried to play with me, you understand? So I told her it's not like that, because she's again telling me that I was yelling, but it was not yelling. I spoke with these two women because I knew them from the past. Ik heb gezegd, zij heeft hem leren kennen en heb ik hem leren kennen. She's asked me if I said that she was the cause. I said I did not say that she was the cause. I said that you proposed me to him. And now I have questions where you met him, because you said you met him in Kadinsky when you were drinking something. I have question about it because he said that he met her there and that he walked inside and that she saw a very, very beautiful woman sitting. And then he came with his friends and some prostitutes, he said some girls. And then when these girls and his friend left, she said to him, "Why are you speaking to me? You were with, do I look like a prostitute?" But she denied that she said that. So he used two words. Latifa, a very beautiful woman. She's a standard woman. And then he's used the word prostitute, you know. So why should you use those words? What is the reason about it? What's the reason for it? En het kan zijn dat ze er niks mee te maken heeft, maar ik moet hem wel spreken. Want hij is voortvluchtig. Weet je, hij werkt met de Joden om fitna te veroorzaken in landen. Begrijp je wat ik bedoel? Dat is niet iets heel kleins.
dat weet hij ook wel heel goed, dat Saoedi-Arabië hen aan het zoeken is. En dat hij een Khashoggi-geval is, weet je. Als ze hem pakken, gaan ze hem meteen onthoofden. Begrijp je wat ik bedoel? Hij werkt met de Joden om fitna te veroorzaken in landen. Hij is nou in Londen met zijn nieuwe vrouwtje. Weet je, als het als een nieuw vrouwtje is, als het gewoon iets een slaafje is wat met hem is. Dus het beeld wat jij van hem hebt, is een totaal ander beeld wat ik van hem heb. Want het is helemaal geen goede man. Snap je? En hij wil ook hand lezen. Hij zegt Sahir. Hij wilde 2 keer mijn hand lezen. 1 keer alleen met haar en de andere keer 1 keer wilde hij.
I'm giving her the reason because she proposed him to me and I had no contact with him until I went into Morocco. I told her I was going to Morocco and I was going because I had vacation and I did not told him that I was going to Morocco. And then she asked me why I would not meet with him. I said, I don't know. I did not spoke with him yet. She said, you can meet with him, but don't go to his house. Shows you why would a friend warn me? She never said anything about that. And then suddenly she said, don't go to his house. It's like they were actually testing me. You understand? So they were playing the Antichrist 100%. And later I will explain what she's also saying. So this woman that I met in the mosque, she always said, pretty face, they want to bring in the prostitution. You're a very good lawyer, you know. So they're all in that same Antichrist group.
Alleen mijn hand lezen de eerste keer en de tweede keer.
I told her when I went to Morocco that what I was speaking now about. When I met him the next day, he was fasting, and during his fasting he wants to read my hands. And then he said to him, I don't believe in it. He said, oh no, horoscope is not that bad. You know, it's typical Freemason thing. And then he said to me that if I want to buy a castle, why would you say to me something about a castle? Do I look like a princess? So, and then after, he spoke about that he was a imam in Australia in a mosque and that he has 2 passports with 2 different names, blah, blah, blah. That he came from Saudi Arabia to Australia and there he brought his wife from Saudi Arabia, have children, divorced, and suddenly went to Morocco to establish a company, you know. And this is the story.
Zijn vrouw toen hij met zijn vrouw kwam. En iedere keer,
I told him that after the Tangier, I had no contact with him because I had very strange what he did about reading hands. He wanted to read my hands. I did not trust him, so I had no. And the police also stopped him when I was with him to check his papers, you know. So I just did not want to have contact with him. But suddenly, when I told her that. When she asked me how it was, I told her that. I said, oh, it was just, he's even not a person to have contact with as a normal friend, you know. I don't want him as a friend. So when I went to Spain, he started speaking about buying a house. Well, for business matters, I'm willing to meet. That's not a problem. But suddenly, he did not really came for a house, you know. This is also a story. And when I met him in Spain, he came and I met him in an Italian restaurant. And my food came and he asked me if I want to charge my phone on his electronica because my battery was empty. That was also stupid of me to do. And then they put my food. I took a hap, you know, pasta with Parmesan cheese. I always eat that in the past. And then suddenly I went running to the toilet to throw over. And the last time I threw over was in 2000 when I was 7 years old. So I think he was using magic with his eyes or something. So when I came back, he was already finished dinner. And I tried to eat, but I could not eat. So he did something. 100%. And the next day I met him. He wanted to go to a shopping mall to buy baby clothes for the baby of his daughter that was living in Saudi Arabia. So that is also a reason why he was going to a store to buy baby clothes, like he like about baby, you know, why he's involving the word baby in my case, you know. And he knew about this baby store because he was looking for it at his phone because someone told him. But he did buy everything with the credit card. Maybe he could buy there only because they have a contract or something, I don't know. So this is the whole story. When he buy the baby clothes, we went to drink something around the corner in the shopping mall, and I asked him if he wants to buy also shoes. It was not irony, and then he was angry because he thought I was insulting him, and he put his legs on the table. Everyone was looking, and then we left. And then in the car, he started getting aggressive. because I told him I wanted to open a subject, and I told him like maybe I'm going back to Holland. Then he was hitting his wheel and saying, no, you're not going to go back, because I'm sure that when you were in Holland you were depressed, you're not going to go back, and almost going off the road. So I was in shock, and he said to me, you're not God to describe my future. Only God knows. I said, you're not God, you know. So this latifa probably has told information about me, you know. And then I blocked him immediately when I went to my car. Immediately. I had no contact with him till the year after, 5 months after, when he suddenly appears in a shopping mall with his wife that he just married, and coming into a restaurant, doing like he did not see me, going to the bar and saying to the man that if they want to help them because he lost his bag. I mean, he could go to any place, but he came to that Moroccan restaurant. And it was the same day that I had my new job. So they know everything. They know everything, that I went to that office, that I received a new job, that I went to work in that job, you understand? So this is the reason why they sent him to me, you know? So this is the case. And so I'm telling her that it's all the time coincidence, and that he asked me if I want to help him, you know, if I want to help him with his bag. And I called someone I knew that had a store in meat, halal meat, and he called his friends so that we can get his car, because he had also no car key, to the garage. And they went to the car, and then I went behind him, and then he was standing looking at me to my long black dress till the knee, and hugging and kissing his wife while watching at me, like, you know, comparing me with her, you know, watching at me and then watching at her, and then hugging her and kissing her, you know, like he wanted to say, you know, he was looking at me from top till down. And then he came to me in the car and asked me if I have a house next to me for them, you know. And then I brought them to their hotel. I said, no, I don't have a house. And then I brought them to their hotel. It was the same hotel where I stayed in 2015. And then he made a comment while booking in XXL beds. He wanted an XXL bed because in 2015 I booked for myself a room for my vacation and a very big bed, only for myself. So he made that comment. Probably also he knew the owner, you know, because they all are in the same Freemason organization, you know. So they all know about me, and they've all played the game with me. And what can I say? They have no other thing to do.
Zeker tegenkomen, allebei de keren in een shoppingmall, in een winkelcentrum. En dus ja, maar dat kan wel waar zijn, maar jij kan zeggen, oh, hij is goed voor mij, there is minder, toch?
To say, well, what do I have to do? You can say, okay, I don't want to have to do nothing with him. And then I block him. I said, well, it's not like that. They all the time come and look for me. And I just want to know how you know him, because it's not a simple case.
Het gaat niet om Batman, dat heb ik ook gedaan, meerdere keren, maar dan opnieuw, hij werkt met de Joden en zij hebben mijn telefoon en hij weet dus waar ik ben. En iedere keer als ik in een shoppingmall ben, kwam hij. De eerste keer kwam hij zogenaamd met de smoes, waar ik in een Marokkaans restaurant in een shoppingmall, dat hij zijn tas kwijt was, of ik hem wilde helpen. Dus ik geloofde hem. Ik wist toen nog niet dat hij bij de Illuminati zat. Dus ik geloofde hem. Dus ik denk tegen hem, ik ga jou helpen. Dus ik bel een vriend van mij. Hij komt met een garage. We slepen hem. Hij heeft geen cent betaald. We hebben hem geholpen. Hij heeft die auto daar laten staan. Ik heb hem naar een hotel gebracht. En daarna... hallo? Ja. Daarna... ik heb hem naar een hotel gebracht. En daarna... mooi, een heel lang verhaal. Tweede keer weer in een shoppingmall. Dus hij ontmoet me iedere keer in een shoppingmall. Weet je, waar camera's hangen. En wij weten het al, dat verhaal. Ik had al vermoedens over hem. Iedere keer blokkeer ik ze. Maar dan vinden ze me weer, hè. Het is niet dat ik mijn nummer geef. Hun vinden mij. Dat is gewoon toevallig. Iedereen denkt het toeval. Maar tot ik contact had met de autoriteiten in subhanallah bij toeval. Had ik contact met de royalties van Saudi-Arabië en Jordanië. En toen hebben ze mij gewoon verteld dat hij op een zwarte lijst staat. Hij werkt voor de Amerikanen. Hij is binnengekomen in Saoedi-Arabië om assistent-minister te zijn, om puur spionagewerk te verrichten. Want ze willen die hele koningshuis willen ze omverwerpen. Ja, leuk dat je tegen de politiek bent in Saoedi-Arabië, maar je gaat niet burgers in gevaar brengen, net zoals ze hebben gedaan met Irak en Syrië.
I'm telling her, actually, it's not true what I'm telling her. I'm telling her that Morocco and actually, I told her, yes, Morocco was looking for him and Jordan was looking for him and Saudi Arabia. But it's because the information that he gave me, because he told me the last time, after the first time in the shopping mall when he lost his bag, the second time again, they came to look for me again when I was in a shopping mall. And this time, I even went to her with Morocco because he said that he could not go to Morocco. He sent his wife to fix some things, to finish some things because he has problems with the Moroccan police, as he had a problem and he could not go speak with them because he had two different passports and otherwise they would know about it. So from that I was assuming that Morocco was looking for him, and when I spoke with Jordan they said that he was a Khashoggi case and that when reorganizing the profiles of the ministers' governments he did not agree and left. So I was assuming that, but it's a lie. He works for the Saudi government, and that about Morocco is a lie. Morocco was not looking for it. Why did he send his wife to do that paperwork? Because of course he needs to have a reason. You know, he's sending with his wife to Morocco finally, you know, because he wanted me to stay in that house next to them. And to give me a comfortable feeling, he thought I will not stay there myself. So I will say that I have problems with the police. And then this wife of him said also that there was a girl that had a conversation with the police because they thought she was there as a prostitute in that house. You understand? So why would they tell me things like that? I mean, it's negative information. They tell me that so that I can think like, okay, I can go with them because the police is watching them. I don't need to be afraid. So they wanted me finally to stay in the house next door. Why did they want me to stay in the house next door? What is the reason of that, you know? So, and when I was in that house, the first thing when I went inside, there was Quran on 24 hours. The only reason why they put Quran in the house is to keep the spirits away. So it means that he's a magician. And I also have experienced that because in my house I had like a picture of a bird, and on his WhatsApp he had also a picture of the same bird that I had in my house. So when I got suspicious and asked, and I told him that, and he answered normally, I burned the picture and I put over its rakia water, and then the door started to shake. You understand? So to be honest, I just, this story about Morocco is of course a lie, and this story that Jordan told me is also a lie. He's just working for the Saudi government, and he has many passports, but he has also one a very long name, and sometimes they use only the first part in the passports, and sometimes they use all the parts in the passports. You know, this is why he said he has passport with two different names, but it's a lie. You know, he told me that the first moment because he knew already what would happen at the end. So this is what I'm telling her, you know. She said, why are you, and when I told her that they're looking for me, she said, why are you letting yourself then in these things? It's better for you to keep distance away from, she's trying to fear me, you know, make me afraid so that I stop investigating. Hij werkt met illuminatie, hij is mij komen opzoeken. Ik zou me oppassen als ik jou was af. If I was you, I would watch out. Dit allemaal zo is. Ik zou dan gewoon afstand nemen. Afstand nemen? I would take the distance. Hoe moet ik weten? Jij zei dat jij hebt leren kennen. I said yes, but I need to know. I need to know where you have met him. Weet toch?
was in Tanja, ja, een café, restaurant, café. Ja, een soort Kandinsky. Ja. Gewoon waar je eet. Ja.
So you met him in a cafe, right? And then she's trying to pretend to speak the truth. So she's trying to say, no, it was not really a cafe, it was a cafe restaurant. It's a regular answer that people give when they try to lie. No, it was Kadinsky. Everyone knows that Kadinsky is a cafe. You can eat. It's a grand cafe. You can eat. Well, why should she now explain what it exactly is? It's a kind of a Kadinsky, she say. It's a kind of a Kadinsky. No, it's not a kind of a Kadinsky. It's Kadinsky. You know, and the first moment when I spoke with her, I asked her if she met him in a cafe. And at the conversation, she said to me, yes, I told you about that, right? So, like, she was trying to repeat, like, I was speaking the truth, you know? Well, she's not speaking the truth. She did not met him there. She didn't met him there because he told me, oh, she's so a beautiful woman when she was sitting there. And I came with prostitutes. And then she said to me, why are you speaking to me? Do I look like a prostitute? And when I went to this house of his wife and them, I saw in the room next door a very dirty slip, like there was a prostitute or something. So, and when I also and this wife of him, she's trying to tell me that he had problems with the police, so that I can think like nothing can happen to me, you know. And when she arrived, the Quran was on, and she called her friends to tell them, oh, and she starts cleaning the whole house, because probably he told her that she must clean the whole house. You understand? She starts cleaning the whole house, everywhere, like there cannot be one hair. You understand? Starts cleaning the house completely. And then she said, she's calling her friends and said, I'm now, like, I'm not a divorced woman, you can come here. I didn't know what their plan was exactly. Maybe she was planning to invite her friends and men as well. I don't know. I'm sure they had a plan with me, 100,000%.
Ja. Dat is geen café, dat is een restaurant. Oké, maar heb je nooit iets vreemds aan hem gemerkt dan? Dat hij iets vreemds doet en zo? Ik heb niks vreemds aan hem gemerkt, nee. Niks vreemds. En die vrouw van hem dan? Ik weet niet of hij vrouw heeft. Oh, dat weet je zelfs nog niet eens dat hij een vrouw heeft? Nee, dat weet ik niet. Ik weet dat hij gescheiden is, ja, dat weet ik. Hij is getrouwd, schat.
No, I don't know that he has a wife. I don't know that. She said that she don't, but she lies. He has contact with him. She said, you don't know that he has a wife? No, I don't know that. So she's really, really a liar. You cannot trust her. Any answer that she's giving in this conversation, it's probably because, of course, she needs to do this, because I know the truth anyway, but she's trying to save herself.
Met een meisje uit Tanja. Wat? Hij is getrouwd.